Muy buenas, ¿cómo estáis? Yo súper feliz, muerta de calor, por favor, en Madrid, qué calor hace, pero súper feliz porque hoy he tenido, esta es mi perra por aquí, porque hoy he tenido el placer de hablar con Hero Fiennes Tiffin, sí, el protagonista de la saga After, y ya aquí os voy a contar y vais a poder escuchar un poco la entrevista con él. Y sí, hoy hemos hablado aquí en Movies con él, tenemos el audio porque ha sido una entrevista en grupo donde la gente también a veces la prefiero porque no me puedes comparar 30 minutos de charla con Hero y o a 5 minutos en vídeo con él. Pues yo prefiero 30 minutos con el actor que 5 minutos en vídeo, sinceramente, ¿no? Lo malo que aquí no son grabadas por el tiempo, está más distendido, el actor también se siente súper más cómodo también porque no hay cámaras, está así, está guay. Ha sido genial y quería contar un poco mi experiencia aquí en este vídeo. Él entró a la sala donde estábamos 5 periodistas y fue súper amable con todos, nos dio las gracias por estar ahí, por estar haciendo nuestro trabajo y por volver, ¿no? Con las ruedas de prensa, de nuevo con la publicidad, como se dice, ¿no? Con este viaje para presentar la película, obviamente After, Amor Infinito, que se estrena en cines este fin de semana. Ahora podéis escuchar y todo, vamos a poner también imágenes de las cosas relacionadas que nos ha contado, porque hemos hablado muy bien y le ha gustado mis preguntas, así que estoy súper encantada, porque quería preguntarle también sobre la salud mental de este protagonista, ¿no? Porque vemos que es un chico que lo ha pasado muy mal y lo está pasando muy mal. Y también le he preguntado, obviamente, acerca de los hobbies que tiene, cómo un poco se dispersa también, ¿no? Cuando no está trabajando y en qué se distrae. Y también tenía una duda porque quería saber cuál ha sido esa primera película que él vio en el cine o que recuerda haber visto. Le encantaron mis preguntas, así que la vais a poder escuchar. Y nada, muy atento, muy sonriente, súper simpático, súper suelto. Al final me firmó mi película de Harry Potter y el misterio del príncipe, en el que Hero interpreta a Tom Riddle, ¿vale? De pequeño. Y también nos fuimos a hacer todos también una fotillo con el actor. Y nada, que mañana es la premiere y también vamos a estar ahí, así que ojito, no os perdáis nuestras redes sociales que ya esto va volviendo ya de nuevo, después de unas grandes vacaciones, ya vamos volviendo con mucho contenido aquí en este canal. Y también os contaré la review de After Amor Infinito, obviamente. Así que nada, os dejo que disfrutéis de la entrevista y ya sabes, suscríbete y no te pierdas nada de nuestro contenido aquí en movies.es.
So first of all, thank you for the interview, and what can you tell us about your evolution as a person, a professional, and a character throughout the whole saga now that the saga is reaching its end?
Well, I'll say thank you all for being here to start with. And yeah, it's interesting, man. I really can't put into words how much I've learned on this whole journey. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't do After in the first place. It's taught me so much, specifically within the character. He's taught me loads, and I think one of the most important things is something that I've always been aware of, but it's kind of reinforced my understanding of how important it is, and that's just to strive to be a better person every day, not just for yourself, but for the people around you, because we know Hardin struggles with that, but he's always really trying. But then beyond that, just understanding how movie sets work. It's such a big machine with so many departments, and often if you come in and you do a small role where you're only in for a few days, you don't have the opportunity to go and ask questions about what they're doing with the lights or the set or logistics or production. And I've been so lucky to come and do the same film 4 times that I feel so comfortable. I can walk around and, really understand everything about, everything down to like coming to meet you guys and how you play a really important role in how movies are made. And then also like you say, and like I've said, just being able to travel the world and meet new people. So yeah, so much I've learned in these past 4 years.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know, did you know what Hardin was writing? Did you know from the first movie, or how did you find out, and what was your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure I did know from the start. I did, and often when I do write in the journal, sometimes I'm doodling like I am here, just doing random stuff. But the vast majority of the time, especially in important scenes where it's not just a montage, I am writing and following on from the prop people when they give you the journal. In case we see it on the camera, there's a few pages of stuff that Hardin's actually written that they've taken from the books. and I would just follow on in the same mindset and write the same kind of thing. So I often like would add to the journal. So it'd be some Hardin and some me writing as Hardin and some obviously Anna writing as Hardin. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Anna told me very early on. I mean, I'm very open about having not read the books because I don't want to get confused between...
No, I was like, what were your thoughts when you found out?
Of course, for me, because I found out very early on when I was talking to Anna, I was going to say because I haven't read the books, I would pick Anna's brain on everything, so I still know so much. And I think very, very early on, maybe even before we started filming, I was aware that the journal then turns into the book. So for me, it almost wasn't a plot twist. It was almost like, part of the script from the start, yeah. But no, I'm so glad. I think the reveal of that is so fun. It's such a good way of telling the story. So sometimes it's even annoying that I don't get to experience the plot twist the same way as everyone else.
So this question is 2 in 1. It's about mental health. First of all, we have a character that clearly struggles with his mental health at times. How hard it is to portray that, and also how it is for you as a person, as a professional, to deal with everything that comes with such a popular character. When fame comes and the burden that it entails, has it changed a lot what you do in your daily life, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I think it was really important for me to get that aspect right. I think I did a lot of research mainly on like childhood trauma and the effects of that before I first started with the first movie. And then the thing that you're so lucky to do as an actor and come and bring the character back to life, not once but twice, 3, 4 times, is to really understand the character. So once I did the research in the first one and played him once, it was not easy but easier to get back into the character and slip into it, and it became a very kind of natural aspect of playing the character. It would almost be more of a challenge to play him more light-hearted and not so worried and not dealing with so much stress and mental health issues in the few scenes when he is in a good mood. So yes, it's a very good question, and I guess also for an actor it's like a gold mine for an actor to have so much to delve into. You don't want a one-dimensional character who's always on top of everything and happy and fine. You want some deep stuff to get into sometimes. And then to answer your second part of the question, yeah, initially it was really overwhelming to have like the kind of overnight, I guess, yeah, we would call it fame. One of my friends texted me saying, you have 100,000 followers and a blue tick. Literally, I woke up to a text. I went on Instagram and was like, so yeah, that was crazy. And then for a while, I just thought, let me put the phone down. Let me just focus on the acting, being present in the room with people, and that stuff can come later. I still don't really use that stuff too much. But yeah, I think it's just important to spend time with the people in the places that you've grown up and who made you, the person that you are. I think that's the key for me to not letting all of that bigger aspect of fame and stuff, take too much of a toll on me, because it was never something I set out to do. When I wanted to act, I just wanted to act and make good movies, and stupidly didn't really ever think about, getting to this stage. But anytime I interact with fans, they're always so lovely and nice, and right now I feel like I'm in a really good place with it all. So thank you for asking your question, but yeah, I'm okay.
Work in a global success saga. Now what do you want to do? Do you want to keep on working on franchises, on blockbusters, or do you want to move into indie films? What are your plans for the future?
It's a really good question, and I think I'm very aware that I don't want to say one answer and then have to stick with it. I want to be able to do a little bit of everything, and I think when the opportunity comes, if it's a very small, low-budget indie film with a great script or great director or great actors, then that's what I want to do. I think one of the really beautiful things about what After's given me is it's given me the platform to be able to pick and choose what I want to do a little bit more and really take my time and make sure it's the right thing. So there's not a specific film I really want to do next. Maybe like an action with a gun in my hand and some explosions and car chases. But again, after I do a film like this, I'm sure I'll turn around and want to do something very, very different after that. So I guess while I'm still young, I really want to explore every different type of genre of movie, work with some people I can learn from, and eventually I'll figure out what I'm good at, what I'm bad at, and we'll start to pick and choose a bit more.
Have you ever feared that there might be some negative feedback because something that was in the book and was very relevant for the fans was not adapted into the film? So it happens even with Marvel movies, with the comic fans, that this is not like the comics.
Yeah.
Kind of that kind of fear.
Definitely. I think this is the moment where I am an actor. I'm very lucky that I can hide behind the wall of producers and say, like, it wasn't my fault. They just brought me the script and I read the words. So yeah, I completely understand that, and I think everyone has a right to feel annoyed about that. I think I've never had experience adapting a book to film and TV, but I can imagine it being really, really difficult to get everything right. And some, you know, we all watch movies or read books and say, I love this part, I didn't like that part, and you completely disagree with your best friend and you agree on so much, but you have different opinions, and it is really difficult. And I know that some fans have been really annoyed with certain aspects of all aspects of the film, and everyone is entitled to their opinion. But yeah, in this case, I'm lucky that it wasn't my job to make that adaptation, and therefore I can say, hey, don't shoot me. I just turn up and read the words.
This is the end of a saga. How do you feel about wrapping up Hardin, sending him to probably coming back in a spin-off or not? What do you think about it? Should it come back?
Initially, I'll answer how I feel about everything coming to an end, and I think we're lucky that we've been able to make not one but 4 movies. So I think instead of being sad that we have to finish it, I'm just happy that we had an opportunity to do 4 of them. And you know, you can be annoyed that there's no more, but I'd rather be happy and grateful that we've done so much and be proud of the work. What was the second part of the question?
Would Hardin come back to the
spin-off? Yeah, I will never say never. The door is still open, but I do think he deserves a break from me. You know, I probably will definitely take some time away. I don't think, you know, when you're drawing a picture and you want to add a bit more, and then you look back and go, I should have left it how it was. I've ruined it now. I'm worried about doing that, so I feel like we need to make sure that we do the right amount, call it a day, and then in years to come, maybe, if there's a spin-off. I actually know nothing about any of the plans for a prequel or sequel or spin-off, but if there is one, I would absolutely love to come back and do, like, especially if it's like a short scene, nothing can stop that, we'll make it work. So I'd love to come and do a cameo if they do end up doing a spin-off, definitely.
So, besides what you do as an actor, what do you like to do on your free time to relax and chill and have a bit of fun? And do you remember the first film that you ever watched?
One of my first favourite films, I can't remember which was the first I ever watched. There's actually, you're making me think now and remember. I think it's called The Indian in the Cupboard, about a boy who has a toy Indian. It's like a Native American. I know we're not supposed to say, but I think it's quite outdated, so that's what the word that they use. But it's about, he puts his toy in the box in a cupboard, and he opens it, and the toy comes to life. I used to love that film. You've just reminded me of it, and I'm not gonna have to watch it again. But one of my favourite films growing up was The Iron Giant. I don't know if you remember that one either, but I watched it again recently, and even as a grown-up, it's so good. So I would recommend that, definitely, The Iron Giant. And in my free time, I say this all the time in after interviews, and I feel like all the fans are so bored of hearing it, but it's the truth. But I just really like to play football, have a few teams with friends, and I play on like 4 times a week. So it's good to stay in shape and get some exercise, but also, like, I feel like when you're acting, your mind is so in the role and in the character, and then when you're not, all my friends think, like, what do you do? Like, you're just there not doing anything. And I think it's important to, like, kind of keep your mind steady, not too occupied with other things, so when a role comes, you can jump right into it. But I think football is a really good way for me to just kind of, it's like therapy. I don't think of anything else when I'm playing football. It's very simple. You try and kick the ball in that goal. And yeah, I play like 4 times a week, so that is definitely my favourite kind of like pastime. But also just spending time with friends, having a beer at the pub, playing some pool. I'm a typical guy who just likes to play games, just like... but it's a good way to take your mind off things, because when you work as an actor, I feel like you're so focused for a long period of time, and then there's just nothing for a while. So you need little things to kind of just keep you going.